The information presented on this podcast represents the personal views and opinions of the hosts. The Neapolitan Trifecta podcast is not and should not be viewed as a news source. The ladies will often discuss current events regarding women in the entertainment industry. Links to sources of information will be posted for reference.
Okay, we ready?
Yes.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Neapolitan Trifecta podcast. I am Lana Reed, a director and the owner of Garnet Films.
I am Nancy Pushkar, owner of Crazy Cat Lady Productions. I also just finished shooting a short that Lana directed called Coffee and Cheese Crowns. We're pretty excited about that. It's moving forward. And I do some writing. I'm an actor, and I am going to throw it over to our Blondo over there.
Blondo.
Hi, I'm Alexander Schumart, an actor based out of the Dayton, Cincinnati area, and a professional whistler. We were whistling a lot before we started, so I needed to come
I'm
it up.
Bob Elkins, and what the heck did I do to deserve to be here?
We love Bob Elkins, and we are welcoming Bob Elkins because he's got his own style. We love him.
Yes.
Bob is not only an incredible actor, but he's a classy, good-looking guy. We love having him on our show today.
He's like, what the?
Yeah.
Oh.
That would be you, Bob Grant Elkins. So anyhow, we do have Bob Elkins with us today. We're really excited about that.
Yes.
So am I.
Fantastic.
Are you
We're
sure?
Really, he was a little nervous a little while ago.
Let's
He was
not
like, oh, what am I doing?
ourselves.
But now he's settled in. He's okay. So, Bob, honestly, this is a show about women in film and the entertainment industry, film, theater, entertainment. And it's all about sharing the thunder, not stealing it. We're sharing it with everyone. And that is why we have you here, because we want you to talk about some experiences that you've had throughout your lifetime. You've been acting for how long?
57 years.
And you're also a writer.
Yes.
So, and that's fantastic. So, needless to say, 57 years, you've seen some changes in that time in terms of women in film or women in theater and women in post-production.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Pre-production, all of that. I mean, give us
Tremendous.
some insight into the things, the changes that you've seen throughout your career.
Well, when you first asked me to do this, the first female that I thought of was Ida Lupino. Do you know Ida Lupino?
Yes.
I loved Ida Lupino. I loved her as an actress. She did a film with Cornell Wilde called The Roadhouse. I think Richard Widmark was in it. It was a wonderful black and white film, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It's just great. And then she started directing, and she was married to Howard Duff,
Yes.
who played a private detective. I know you don't want to spend time on
Oh,
that.
no, I like
you know
this
what?
story.
And yes,
I'm-
keep going. This
Keep
is great
on
because
going.
Ida Lupino was a pioneer for
Oh,
women.
absolutely.
So
she was.
we would love for you to elaborate on and keep telling this.
No, I mean, I was just, I was very young at that time. And when I saw her directing, when I became aware, I was like, wow, a woman, she's directing? And that was my response at that time. But she could do no wrong, because I was secretly in love with her.
That's okay.
I had a long list.
Oh, if you only knew the list that we have.
Oh,
Ruth Roman,
Okay, so give us one more. Give us one more woman on your list of crushes, film or otherwise.
Who's the Italian actress? How could I forget her?
Sophia Loren.
Monica Bellucci.
No, she was
Wow.
with Humphrey Bogart and
Isabella Rossellini. No.
no.
She was younger than he was.
Cute little thing. I had visions of us. Just,
yeah, you don't want to hear our list because
eating
we
ice
You were
cream.
building a mental life with her,
yeah,
weren't you?
right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we have a few of those too.
Anyway,
Hey, yeah, we have lists. We have our
Yeah.
own
Yeah, we
lists.
would need a whole
I'm not going to
episode
mention
to
it.
talk
Yeah.
about
Then I go
that.
off on a tangent.
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, I think it's interesting too. You have worked with some pretty phenomenal women in film. One being Sissy Spacek in
Yes.
the movie Coal Miner's Daughter, where
Yeah.
she played Loretta
oh yeah,
Lynn.
that was.
And
that
I'm
was
going to tell you
an event.
something. I've seen that movie. I love your character
Yeah.
in it because the character in it, you were a radio
Yeah,
DJ,
disc jockey.
correct? Disc
Yeah.
jockey, right? And you were in control of a lot of people's airtime.
Mm-hmm.
And you were in control of whether her song got heard or not. So there was this. Tell us a little bit about like what that was like working with Sissy Spacek.
Well, number one, Sissy Spacek, I was with her all day long. Was never out of character. Never out of character.
Wow.
At lunchtime, no, never out of character.
Wow.
And we're in this old radio station, which represented the era, and it was still in operation. But when we got about an hour into the scene, they decided they wanted to shoot at a different angle, so they'd have to change the table and the wall with all those wires and back. Wow. And of course, on a huge production, if you need a master carpenter, the master carpenter is there with 2 or 3 assistants. Anything that's required, they have. I mean, because it's such a big deal. And so they come in and they start changing this. And I remember the station manager at that time was going, "Oh my God!" And of course they had someone assigned to, keep him.
Right.
So we go out in the hallway, and we're talking. I mean, she's like your Sissy Spacek, and we're just talking, but she's Loretta Lynn.
Right.
And it took me a moment, and then she started into a scene, and I kind of smiling, and then I realized, oh my God, and a crowd of people, from the crew was gathering around, and so for the next 15 minutes, I improv'd with her.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I mean, knocked me out of the ballpark.
I bet.
Once I got into it, I was
though.
okay, but it was just the initial.
Yeah.
My gosh, you're Sissy Spacek, and I'm Bob Elkins,
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's wonderful.
But we did it, and I mean, we crackled.
Yeah.
Once we got going.
Yeah.
You can do it.
That energy, yeah.
You can do it. You can do it, but at certain moments you think, well, I'm not supposed to be here.
You don't know at any point in time was anybody able to record that at all?
Oh,
that was
I don't
way
know.
before cell phones.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, that would be
That's amazing.
how
What a
amazing
good
would
experience,
that have been
though.
But
to
it
see something
it
like-
was just amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why.
Yeah, it was good.
So, I mean, that's the Loretta Lynn character is a really strong character to begin with because she pretty much created her life.
Oh yeah, she and Dew.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty powerful.
Which, let's talk about that for just a small second.
Yeah.
You had screen time with him as well?
Oh, Tommy Lee?
Yeah.
No, I was talking about the real Dew.
Yeah, but you did have screen
Oh,
time
yeah,
with
sure
Tommy
I
Lee.
did.
That was probably really...
And then that was interesting, Lana. I mean, most interesting, because he was such a, "Don't come near me,"
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean
He's-
wow?
Him or the character?
No, him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
Wow.
was such a closed-off guy.
Wow.
Wow.
And he would go off into a corner, and you don't bother him. And so when
Interesting.
we sat down and we had our session with the director, which was cool. But I was so we had our first run through, just to run through it. I was a little nervous because I'd never been on a production that big, and he leans over and whispers to me, gives me a little, upper,
Little upper, little
nice.
boost.
and then he goes,
That's hilarious.
So you know what? That's very telling about
That's hilarious, yeah.
he's not that person that he's trying to present himself as.
"Oh
He's
no,
got-
no, he was
Yeah.
very nice. He was very
super.
nice.
I love stories like
He even goes
love
in like
stories.
this. You've got a grip like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, hey man. No,
Hey, Tommy Lee.
no, he was very nice. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So he
Interesting, yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell of an actor.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So you also have a theater background as well,
Yes,
and you are a teacher, coach,
yes,
acting teacher, acting coach.
right.
I know because we've mentioned your name on the podcast
Yes.
before. So, what are some like theatrical productions that you did, and were there some female characters that were really great characters to play off of, and characters that you loved playing, and what
Oh,
what is
yeah.
what is theater like for you as opposed to film? I'm throwing a lot at you.
Well,
all the time.
I mean, a
Wing
favorite
it.
film, stage production of mine that I really like, and the main character is female, is Man, Woman of Shiloh. And I played the rag picker, and we had a wonderful actress doing, what's her name? Can't think of it now. That's terrible. She's really good. She was very strong,
Yeah.
very strong. I think that's the first time I was in a production with a very, very, very strong female character.
Wow.
Wow, that's pretty. And how long had you been doing theater until you got to that point?
Only about 5 or 6 years.
Really?
But
I mean, but
still,
still, if
five,
you
It seems like a
years.
while
5 or 6
before you run into a
years?
strong character.
Yeah,
female
5 or 6
character.
years it took to get to be
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
strong that. But that was how long ago too. I mean, hopefully things are like have evolved and changed,
Right.
and you know,
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at more. There's more strength behind women characters, film, television. I mean, and theater as well.
Right. But Brian and I were talking earlier. I like theater because you have the opportunity to become so involved with the character and
Yep.
the plot and everything about it.
Yep.
And with your fellow actors and their characters, because you go to rehearsal and you start exchanging emotions
Sure.
and delving and asking questions and delving and asking questions, and then when the production comes, you start from the beginning and you go all the way through. And I love that, and I was telling Brian, I love rehearsals.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
you can
love-
always rehearsals are nice in theater too, because I know occasionally films do. There was a film that just came out where they talked about how they had 3 months to rehearse, and how
Yeah.
you usually don't get that kind of stuff with film
Right.
too often. It's just the way the timing worked out with theater. You have all those rehearsals where you
Sure.
can kind of try different things and
Yeah.
Sure.
really see what is wow.
Right.
So-
Like with film, like Greg Agnew's recent film, we shot a scene, and then a year later, I shot another scene.
Wow, what was that like?
What?
Well, it's it's a money thing. They
Oh.
started,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Okay.
And but in that, Sean Brian, like if you and I are doing a scene in film, and we're really flying, and it's very
Yeah.
emotional. I can't stand it.
I can't stand it.
And they say, they say,
Just let me take this water.
they say a cut because an airplane flies over,
Right.
a fire truck goes by,
Right.
and during that period, they're poking at you and
Yeah.
doing
Putting
this and
makeup
on.
that, and talking, and too many times
It's
the
like
crew,
momentum.
the crew is joking this far from
Yeah.
you, and you're at an emotional height of right here, and no matter what's going on, it's your responsibility, your artistic responsibility to the piece
Yeah.
and to your fellow actors
Yeah.
to hold that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
So when they
Stay
say,
there, yeah.
when they say, action again,
You just pick right
you,
back up.
you just pick right up, and
Right.
the fuse is burning
Yeah.
hot.
Okay,
But that's what I like
Yeah.
about film. Is that discipline.
Sure.
I mean, it's more than a discipline. It's a passionate discipline that you either have or you don't have,
Yeah.
and you better have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's looking at you, Lana.
I know.
wow.
I got it. Bob, I got
Lana,
it. I got
the
it.
curl just left this one piece of your hair.
No, I mean, it's just, it's the rhythm and the beats
Yeah.
and the heart and the soul. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We
Whew.
can't talk right
Yeah.
now.
Man.
No,
Wow.
in all sincerity, you are a writer also.
Yes.
And you are writing, you have a couple pieces that you're writing. You're currently writing a book
Yeah,
that would make an incredible film.
Yeah, I just completed my writing there. I have to go back and look at it.
That's awesome.
And I've been talking to Brian for inspiration.
Brian is running the cameras, by the way. Mr. Dolbins.
Mr. Dolbins,
Mr. Dolbins.
everybody.
So
yeah, and our fantasy play is coming back to life
nice.
that I wrote with two of my actor students who at the time were 10-year-old twins.
Okay.
And we decided we would create a story, and we did, and they improv'd it. I had them improv the characters, the moment, and then I took notes, and then I wrote the script, and so now we're going to do it after. That was 4 years ago.
Wow.
And they are still twins, but not 10.
Not 10.
No, they're not 10.
If it was 4 years ago, they are 14.
We're gonna make.
So
we're
did
gonna
you
make
have
everybody mad.
when you started writing it? They were 10. So are you adapting it now, or are they just
no.
going to be authors?
No,
Are they writing with you? Are they screenwriters with
They're
you?
co-authors.
Okay, but they're not going to be performing. I mean, you didn't adapt it now to
No,
14-year-olds.
no,
Okay.
no. In fact, I haven't seen them in 4 years.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're bringing it. You're going back and working with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it as a radio show to begin with.
Oh, that's fun.
How cool
That's
is
And then
really
we're going to video the radio show.
Nice.
And so we'll have a package of the two medias.
That's very cool.
That's very.
I
very
like
And
that.
then
Yeah.
and then also, and it's already done, I have sketches of pencil sketches by a 19-year-old female artist who is so
Awesome.
good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it into a coloring book.
Wow, taking it to
Where
so many different levels.
Seriously,
Buyers
yeah.
will color in the characters as they feel them, because in the pocket in the back will be a video of the radio show
Wow.
That's
Wow,
amazing.
that's
I love
fantastic.
that.
with
I love that.
complete with sound effects, the whole nine yards.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so much,
That's
but
very
it's
cool.
Robert
that's
Grant
amazing.
Elkins, always moving forward.
That's right.
Seriously, you don't stop. You are constantly reinventing everything, and it's fantastic. It is. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, you make stuff. You make stuff happen
Yeah.
for yourself and for other people as well. Actually.
No, it's just well, you do it.
Yeah.
We all do it.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening.
It's just creating opportunities
Yeah.
everywhere.
Because something else I'm doing, it's almost done, and Sam is going to help me on it. I've created, working with Covington Kentucky kids, ages 9 to 15, who may be interested in acting, but they don't have the money or the
Okay.
means.
Yeah.
It's
So
fantastic.
they come to A Penny for Your Thoughts, and
I love that name.
Isn't that great?
yeah,
Penny
and
for
we
Your
have
Thoughts.
we have a large jar, and they come in and they place a penny, and that gives them an hour and a half of
Wow.
acting.
That's awesome.
amazing.
I super applaud you
Yeah.
for that,
I
but not
absolutely
loudly because we don't want to
love
hurt
that.
Rusty's ears. That is
Penny for
But
Your
that
Thoughts
came-
is such a
that-
cool.
That came out of here.
Yeah.
Here.
piano.
Because they really needed.
and humor
Because
is huge.
for 3 years I was an after-school acting coach at Hayes Elementary in the West End, and I worked with those kids, 4th and 5th graders, and I mean it's a low-income community. Some terrific kids down there,
Sure.
terrific. Every now and then a little toughy, but so many of them, and I grew up disadvantaged also. I mean, we were poor. I mean, really were. They don't have the opportunity that other kids, a whole
Right.
lot of other kids have.
Right.
And that's such a good age because that age you're going through so much. They have so much to say. It's
They're
so
very
nice to have
impressionable.
that
And
Right.
having a
outlet.
mentor
Yeah,
and
having
somebody
something like that is amazing.
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
It's a
I-
life
It's
changing
great for you to
experience.
give back. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm Mr. Bob,
Mr.
I love
Bob.
it.
Mr.
Yeah.
Bob.
and then I volunteered at my where my daughter is a principal. No, she's vice principal now at that school. It's a different school. And I work every Monday morning with a second grader to work with them on improving their reading which is interesting because I went through school and still am dyslexic.
Oh,
And I had a terrible time reading. I can do Shakespeare now.
You know why? Because
No,
you didn't
you
let
can.
it. You didn't
That's
let
right.
that define you, and that's what That's what it's all about. Is
Yeah.
not letting something negative define you. Letting things that are
And working
really
through
who you are,
it.
working,
Right.
Yep.
being who
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Let me tell you about an exciting actress I worked with.
Oh, we want to hear this.
yeah.
When they did the after-school specials, they shot them. They were international, but they shot them in Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
The headquarters was up by UC. What is that up there?
Clifton?
Studio on top of the hill.
Oh. It
I'm
maybe
not
isn't
sure.
there anymore.
There was an old studio up there. But, I mean, they shot these international after-school specials out of that building.
Oh,
up
That's
there.
wow.
amazing.
And so they called me up and they said, Bob, we want you to be in this after-school special. You play the father. And then you'll be playing with Sandy Dennis. And I
Are
said,
you kidding me?
Yeah. And I said, Sandy Dennis. Because I was thinking someone around here that I knew named Sandy Dennis. I said, yeah, Bob, Sandy Dennis. And sure enough, it was Sandy Dennis. And I worked with her, and oh my God, was she exciting. Number one, she had 22 cats at the time, not with her, but on her farm.
Look at Nancy.
I mean, that sounds like my life.
That's
I mean,
even a lot for you,
That's
right?
like I have two.
22
But-
is about where I want to be. So
That is like supernova of crazy cat lady.
But
What-
what happened was,
Whoa.
how much time do we have?
You just keep talking.
You're good.
I'm still like trying to come
what
alive
happened
from two.
was
I'm getting
about-
an allergic reaction.
About
Just
10 months before that, I had done, Edward Albee's, it's crazy.
oh my gosh, the zoo.
No.
Edward Albee's.
I'm hiding because I don't know.
I don't even-
Who's Afraid of
His
Virginia
ver-
Woolf?
Yeah.
I had done Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and I played Nick. And right after that, Sandy Dennis won Best Supporting Actress for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf film. And so
How
she
interesting
was,
is that?
after that, she was traveling in a stage production, and she was at the Schubert. So on Saturday morning, I'm downtown Cincinnati, and I'm on 6th Street. I'm going this way, east, she's coming west. Just the two of us on the street. And I thought, oh my God, that's Sandy Dennis. And I let her go right past me. Because I thought, God, we were in the same play. We were actually reviewed by the same critic,
Wow.
That's
for the
insane.
play that she was in town. And I let her go by, and I thought, oh shoot, you dumbass. and then 8 to 10 months later, I'm cast in a film with her.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so when I really got to know her, I mean, because she was very open, I told her about
You told her the
Yeah.
story.
that story, and she says, she had this thing. Oh, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
And said we could have gone for coffee. She said, I remember that morning. I was lonely. And
Oh my God.
and so I said,
Oh, it just
at that
amazed
time,
me.
in my research, I went to a secondhand vinyl store, and I got an LP of the music from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. On the front cover was Taylor and Burton. And on the back was Sandy Dennis and George Segal.
Segal.
Yeah, George Segal. And she says, oh my gosh. She says, you have it? I said, oh yeah. She says, bring it to the cast party. So I bring it to the cast party. I still have it. So she played Honey. That was her character name. And I played the husband, Nick. So she writes, to Nick from Honey, Sandy Dennis.
Oh my God, how sweet
Yes,
is
it is.
that?
Yeah.
That's a grant.
It's
Kim.
It's a great
That's
story.
such a good
Such a great
Yeah.
story.
story experience
I just think
to have forever.
that it's very telling because we think that people that are in her position in terms of her talent and position in the industry, that we just forget that people get lonely, and she would have loved the company, and that
absolutely.
she's traveling.
She was terrific.
Well, she was in a town where she probably didn't know anybody.
Oh yeah,
Right.
she was, and she was totally by herself.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Hey, stop me!" Sorry.
That's
okay.
I'm tough.
Lana's never going to watch that
I'm
arm
pretty
again.
tough,
Oh,
Bob.
I'm not.
No, that's a great story.
And she got my youngest daughter, the one who's principal now. She was a little girl then, and she got her in a church scene.
Oh, that's sweet.
Nice.
Because she was,
Very nice.
Karen was with me. I used to take my kids with me.
Yeah.
And do you want a scene?
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, it is time for Alex's Question Corner.
Question
Question Corner with Alex.
Okay. This one is from Brian from Detroit, Michigan, if you didn't know.
There's so many Detroits all over the
As
world.
opposed to Detroit, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't even
This
sound
is a
right.
long one.
Detroit,
kind of
Connecticut.
cut up a little bit, so I'm just going to read it.
Okay.
Some people may see that women can't direct or write as well as a man. There's way more known directors, writers that are male. What are some of the things we can do to show people that men and women are equal and to really start getting the behind the scene women more recognition?
Well, I think women have the advantage because I taught acting classes for women only, and to have a room full of female actors as opposed to having a room full of male actors is far more exciting. I mean, without even saying a word, it's more exciting being in the room with a room full of female actors, because the female, this is my mind, the female in their lives have more going on than a male.
Right.
I would
I
agree
mean, they
with
do.
that.
They just
yeah,
have
I agree
more
with that.
going on.
Yeah.
So, their stimulation, I think, is keener, and they have leadership. Like with the kids, is basic. All of that, and sensitivity, and there's nothing worse in the animal kingdom to mess with a lion cub or a bear's
Or
cub.
a bear, right?
And don't mess with their cubs or you'll get done.
You're dead.
You're dead. You're
Yeah.
dead meat. I mean, they're
Yeah.
vicious,
Very
far more than they are. So in that regard, I think they bring all that to the table when they direct.
Yeah.
Because I was directing, the old Benjamin Plays, which was an old Benjamin Plays. That was an independent theater company here in town. And I loved
That's okay. We do all the time.
Yeah,
You were talking about the ensemble
Yeah.
and
The other theater.
Oh yeah, okay.
we'll bring you back.
It's an age thing. I was picked to do Mr. Roberts, and I just gotten out of the Navy a few years before, so I know this stuff. So I had auditions for Mr. Roberts, and I couldn't find a Mr. Robert, so I cast myself. And after 2 rehearsals, I realized that I didn't have the stuff at that time, maybe even now, to play the lead and direct. And
It's a lot of work. They're both individually a lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Putting them together,
Yes.
and people who do it now.
and so I went through the book, so I had this female friend, and I selected her to come in, and she agreed, and she directed, and she took over all these guys like boom.
Wow.
And I mean, there's only one female part in it, and that was the nurse. And all the rest were guys.
Wow.
But she really took it over. She was in command.
Did they respect her?
Oh yeah, this gal, they did.
Nice.
Betcha. Now she was tough.
Yeah.
She
Good.
was tough.
Tough because
You
she
have
had a
to
job
be.
to do, and she was
Yeah.
making
Yeah,
it work.
exactly.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
But she also had, an interesting degree of sensitivity. But she expected you to get your work done,
That's fantastic. I love that.
and
Yeah.
did it. I mean, far more than I could have done.
Yeah.
And it turned out it was a decent show.
Good. That's
Awesome.
That's great. I
Yeah.
love that story. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Another question.
One more question.
Okay. We have not actually touched this topic at all, but Randall from Las Vegas asks, what do you think about the female to male nudity ratio in film? And I would assume, like, do you see it changing and kind of what? Yeah. I mean, I've been watching a lot of TV shows and noticing that, well, I think what's helping recently is a lot of either female actresses are stepping up and saying, hey, well, I'm not doing it unless it's equal with, the male nudity on screen. Or there's actually been some instances where male has stepped up and said, no, let's change it up and let me have, like, kind of a nude, like a nude part in a movie. I think it was Tom Hiddleston actually that did that in a movie he recently did, where he actually insisted on it because he wanted to kind of make the playing field a little more equal in that aspect. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And it's more realistic.
Yeah.
Well,
His-
yeah,
I mean,
if you have-
historically, women have always been nude on film a lot more than men, and
Yes.
completely nude as opposed to even
Right.
just topless.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, for sure.
That's
which
true.
which I think is odd that, and I know there's that line that you cross, but I have never understood why it's okay to have a full frontal nudity shot of a woman, but not a male. Because then
Very
the male
rarely you'll see
crosses
the-
the line.
yeah.
Showing a male full frontal nude crosses the line.
and if you
Right.
do, it's
Which
for
I-
like
yeah.
a second. It's not like
It's
a,
nowhere near like
yeah.
the pan down the body on the
Right.
woman or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
I have a thought on that, but it's not appropriate.
Yes.
Well, I agree with you. Fair is fair.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
I was in my zombie. Almost everyone in the business must do a zombie movie.
Oh, really?
And,
Yeah, especially if you live in Ohio.
yeah, and I did mine,
Hoping that'll-
Zombie Cult Massacre, which I
Yeah,
understand has become a classic.
it has.
But
Yeah.
there's a scene in it where these beauties were lounging in a naked state in a bath and all this, and I'm there, and then
Of course you were.
And then it leads to the fact I raped this one female, and they wanted me to tear my clothes off me completely naked. And I said, oh, no, wait a minute.
Wow, Bob, come on.
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow, that's
I said, come on. I said, I don't want to stand around balls naked. Because I know how much time how much time you take in
Are they
between takes. I said, I just want to
Don't
do
they
it.
give you a towel?
So what I,
A robe, fluffy white robe,
yeah,
Slippers?
I
Bunny?
said, well,
pipe.
Oh,
It is-
gosh. Yeah.
it's more like I would have been better fit doing comedy relief in a porno.
Oh, jeez,
But-
I'm so sorry.
But they wanted me to rape her, and I said, well, now let's discuss this, because I'm just taking this woman, and I said, I think if I'm naked, it would be two naked actors working, and people going, oh wow, oh geez, are you kidding me?
Do you mean like caught up in like losing
Yeah.
sight of things, just going,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
they're
I
both
said,
naked?
but what if the guy, it would be more insulting to the female if the guy just unzipped his fly, kept his clothes on, and kept his coat on, and raped her. and it would give more of an insulting essence to the scene.
For sure.
You know, it's just like.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if you
And
think
so
about
that's
it,
I talked
Yeah.
with the director and the writer and the guys, and because they're all guys, you know, what did they know?
Not a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I'm teasing.
Yeah, and they said, let's try it. And it was more insulting.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And it was just.
It's like he doesn't care enough to even.
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
I get it.
I don't
yeah.
know how it was shot because I haven't seen the film, but in a weird twist, did it also give more coverage to the female so she wasn't so exposed?
Oh yes, yes.
A little
see,
bit.
that's
Yeah.
there's something kind of
Yeah.
something nice.
A little bit
about
of a
that.
Yeah.
compromise.
Yeah.
Because I wrapped part of the coat around her,
Oh, okay.
and that wasn't too.
You know, you've just moved up another level in my heart. That you wrapped your coat around that woman in that scene, Bob.
Well, I mean, it was. I mean, for the character,
Yeah.
it was just part of the dominance.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Definitely.
You know.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty powerful situation
Yeah.
that you just talked about. I mean, in terms
Yeah.
of trying to make choices as an actor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another really good lesson that you can speak up as an actor too,
Right,
which
exactly.
is what
Like-
we always
Oh,
say
yeah.
Right.
is
I mean, because
just because
I
it's
mean,
written
Yeah.
right,
and you've agreed to do the part doesn't mean you still don't have a little power to go, hold on.
right.
Yeah.
And probably some of the women in that scene could have even spoken up
I'm
and
sure.
said, look, we don't need to be completely naked. And I think
Yeah.
that is starting to turn around with women in film,
Yeah.
that they don't have to.
No, you have an artistic right to, I believe,
Yeah.
to speak up.
Absolutely.
I mean,
And
because
it
they can
depended
say
on,
no. I mean, you know what I mean?
You know who you're working with.
Yeah.
They can say, "Who are you? Shut up." And that does happen, or they say it with a little more flowery speech. But you can say, "Hey, what about this?"
Right.
Right. There's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
You
Right.
should have that freedom as an
Yeah.
actor. I believe that. Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, so moving
Yeah.
forward.
Alex, where can they find us?
You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Neapolitan3. Spell the word 3 out. Our website is NeapolitanTrifectaPodcast.com. You can go on there on our forum or submit questions or love letters, like Lana has said in previous episodes, or hate mail, but we don't want that.
But we can handle it.
We can handle it.
Everybody's
Yeah.
You've got an opinion.
Yeah.
It's
We would
life.
love to hear
Yeah,
it.
any opinion matters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Shout out to our sponsors, Derek Cadzow at derekcadzow.com. He designed our Neapolitan Trifecta Podcast.com
Derek.
website, and we love it. 5 Elements Pottery on Etsy. Spell it out, 5 Elements Pottery. Go online and check out the designs that Winter makes and see if there's anything that tickles your fancy. Starwind Vacations. Go somewhere tropical. Contact starwindvacations.net and they will hook you up. The Pie Bird on Facebook, so just search for Pie Bird. Some savory and fruit and yummy pies, so check that out. And CP Designs will be wearing some of her jewelry on the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll be at Imaginarium. We'll be at Imaginarium October. I don't know why I have such a hard time with that. Anyway, we will be live at Imaginarium October 7th, 8th, and 9th. And we are super excited about
Yes.
this. We will be interviewing authors and other people in film. And Mr. Dobbins will be there. Rusty will be there.
I will not.
Alex will not
be there.
I will
be
not.
there.
be
Lana
there.
and I will maintain.
But I
Yes.
will be there with a popsicle stick with my face on it.
and we'll be like this.
Yes.
And they're going to tape it to the table.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will.
But anyway, we hope to see you there. If not, follow us on our
Instagram.
Social media.
social media.
And thank you, all of you.
No,
Hey,
thank you.
no,
Thank
thank
For my
you.
privilege.
Thank you.
Bob,
Right?
Robert Grant Elkins, you're phenomenal. Thank you. We so appreciate
I feel like
you
I need
being
to put
here.
my hand
Yes,
on
put
you
your hand
also.
on him.
They're like all touching you and I'm just like over here like, hello.
No, we just
Hello.
love Bob. Bob has been like an incredible coach.
Yes,
So, for me,
absolutely.
and
All right, guys.
mentor as well. All right.
Bye.
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 Bye, and good luck on your film.
Best show ever.
Yay.
Nice.
Bye.